Hi again, it's me, Dave Burns, Copper Gardens, and I'm going to walk you through a little bit of a really peculiar process. It's almost embarrassingly rudimentary. It also is very effective. Let me make this as quick as I can. Previously, I'd shown you how I finish some of the edges on my big brass leaves. And then after that, I began to put the outer veining in them, and I did just a horrible job, I'm sorry to say. I ran them through my bead roller, and I was extremely unsuccessful at that. Excuse me, I actually started with my Pullmax, the big machine that I don't know. We'll take a quick look, and some of you may have seen a Pullmax before, but that's this monster thing here. This is actually a small one, but in my world, it's kind of a monster. And this little bit here, this hammer thing goes up and down about 40 thousandths. I think it's turned on. Yeah. Moves that little bit. An air activator pushes the hammer down, and I'm able to put veining into the leaves. But they kept walking around on me, and I was not getting good, clean lines, and I was really unhappy with that. Maybe you can see some of these that are kind of ugly. So I really destroyed 3 leaves here. I'll figure out something else to do with them, but they're not going to go into this project because they're not right. I finally wound up going back to my bead roller. That was inadequate, and I ended up hand hammering with a bunch of tools that I make out of, believe it or not, old wagon wheel steel. The reason I like wagon wheel steel, I should say iron. It's not steel. Some of this stuff was before the age of steel. And the nice thing about it is you can heat it up and bend it and heat it and bend it, and you can do that almost infinitely, and it just keeps letting you get away with it. You can even weld it, although welds break frequently on that kind of metal, but that's okay. In this case, you just re-weld it and keep going. Okay, so then once I got to that point, they end up looking like a like a banana, even though it's a banana leaf. You don't want it quite shaped so radically as that. That doesn't serve us well at all. I want to get back to something much more like these finished leaves, which have a nice bit of shape. And here, let me take a little tiny one so you can get a little better idea. See, we're able to put in quite a bit of rolling and tucking and bending and giving it some nice natural flavor. But it's a long process to get to there. And here's one of the silly things that I have to do. And I call it silly only because if I were, whoop, I almost lost my camera there. If I were a real metal shop, I would probably have a different set of tooling for this part of it. Excuse my bouncing around here. I'm trying to set the camera here so that you can see this Mickey Mouse thingamajig. This is my hoist. I've got a ton hoist above it here, electrically controlled. And then I've got a big hunk of tubing here that's clamped down to the table. And this is what I do. This could be done on a $50,000 rolling machine, but there's no way in the world that my little shop can finance that kind of equipment. I just don't use it often enough. I don't need it often enough. But look at this. Now with this lifting strap, I hope this works. I hope I don't embarrass myself some more. Look at that. I put this horrific bend in it. These pieces of metal here help to spread the load all the way along the leaf. And it looks like it's bent way too far. So I'll go a little bit more. And now watch. It comes way back to close to where it was. And then the clamps fall off and I pull it out. And I have the beginnings of a shaped leaf. Now, the next step, bear with me here, we're going to take you for a little more of a ride. It's a little distance away, but it's the best I've got right now. I'm going to go over to this horn stake affixed to this other table, and I will start doing some of the hammering that will do a return bend, counter bend, if you will. In fact, I can do a little bit of it by hand on this stake, barely. Easier to do with the hammer. And then I randomly decide I'm not going to waste your time having you watch me hammer the whole thing, but I will bend little tweaks and twiggles. It's a technical term, and that gives it that, what I like to think of as a natural look. It may not be precisely like a real live leaf, but the bends and the folds and the lines that I put into it do give the essence of something organic and something living, or at least once living. So that's it. I'm trying to keep it short again. That's this step, and thanks for looking. We'll catch you up again on another step. Take care.